Hey, this is worksheet 8.1. This is the edition from 2019, but it's the second time I made it because the first time I didn't like it. I believe you have the answers for the odds taped to the right side of your assignment, so I'm going to skip some of those, I think. Work more on the evens. Number 2, first of all, some people were annoyed by the fact that there's not multiplication dots. Well, this is equivalent to this. And then recall that this v right here has an exponent of 1. So to simplify this v to the 1 times v to the 3 is the same as v to the 4 because I can add the exponents together. And then that 6 just comes along for the ride. Boom. Whereas here, in number 4, maybe it helps to rearrange things. So I have a 3, and this is all multiplication. So I have another 3. See that right there? I have an x to the third, and I have an x. What's helpful is when we rearrange this and put the numbers first, we can see that 3 times 3 is 9. Sometimes people put different numbers there that are incorrect. Then, to continue simplifying, I can combine this x to the 3 times x to the 1 to write x to the 4. Number 6. Again, this x right here in the middle is the same as x to the 1. If there's a missing exponent, it's a 1. So then x to the 1 times x to the 2 is x to the 3. And this coefficient of 3 we just bring down. Number 8 will have a 25 in front of it because I took 5 times 5, which is 25, right? And then we have an a. But to simplify this, instead of writing a squared times a to the 3, it'll be a to the 5 because I can add the exponents together. Check your notes. If you're not sure why we're doing that, I broke down and expanded some problems to show you why we are able to add those exponents together. And here, I'd multiply 5 times 6, which is 30. And then again, I have x to the second times x to the third. That's the same as 5x's getting multiplied together. Number 12, we're going to do some sprinkling. So we get 25. I'm going to actually write it this way. I'm going to write it as 5 to the power of 2, and then this power of 2 gets sprinkled to the x, so x to the power of 2. Now 5 squared we can actually calculate, it's 25. So the best answer is 25x squared. Number 14, let's sprinkle this 2 to the 2 and to the x to the third. So 2 to the second is 4. X to the third to the second power is x to the 6. When we have a power to a power, we multiply the powers together. Like right here in number 18, we only are sprinkling the power of 3 to the n. So n squared to the third power is multiply the powers together, n to the 6. Number 20, we're going to take 6 squared, and we're going to also take x squared and square that. So when I have two powers, or I have a power raised to another power, I multiply those together. So the best answer is 36, because 6 squared means 6 times 6. 6 times 6. 6 times itself 2 times. So that's 36. There we are. By the way, if you're wondering, what is 6 to the power of 3? That's 6 times 6 times 6, which is 216. Whoop. Ooh, let's try some on the bottom. So again, this is similar to the numbers 1 through 10. I can rewrite this if I want to. And when I do that, remember it's all multiplication. I can put dots between everything here. So I have a 2 times a 2. See, 2 and 2. And then I'll write the x's. I have an x squared and another x squared, and I have a y to the second times a y to the third. I've just rearranged the factors or the things that are being multiplied together here, and multiplication is commutative, so you can do that. So how can I simplify it? Now that things are side by side, maybe it's easier to see. 2 times 2 is 4. As we've been practicing, x squared times x squared, you add the exponents, so that's x to the fourth. Y to the second times y to the third, we add the exponents together, that's y to the fifth. There we are. Let's try that. Let's try breaking it apart again, or rearranging things with number 24. Let's put the numbers out in front. We have a 4 and a 6. Then let's go to the ends. We have an n to the 1, that's right here, and an n to the 2, that's right there, and then an m to the 2, and m to the 2. So when I simplify this, 4 times 6 is 24. N to the 1 times n to the 2 is n to the 3, because we add the exponents together. Now let's move to the m's. M to the 2 times m to the 2, add them together, it's m to the 4. Alrighty, that was pretty fun. If you don't have a number, you could put a 1 in front of the a squared. So you do have like 5 times 1 here, which is 5, or you could have just ignored that and brought the 5 down. Then you have a to the 4, b to the 5, and you add the exponents of the same bases together. Alright, I think that was fun. I'm going to skip down here to number 38. So we sprinkle the power of 3 to the numbers and to each of the respective bases or variables. So we have 4 to the 3rd. We have y to the 3rd. And then this is not going to be x to the 3rd. It's going to be x squared to the 3rd. So we multiply the powers together. So it's x to the 6th. Now one final thing is we can actually do 4 to the 3rd, which is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. So the best answer is 64, y to the 3rd, x to the 6th. Here we would get 5 to the 3rd, which is 125. Multiply the power with the power, so that's u to the 9. Multiply the power to the power, so that's v to the 9. Ooh, these look like fun. Ooh, scary. We're going to do number 42, and then I know number 45 has been posing problems. People are checking their answers. They're like, whoa, that's not what I got. I'll show you why. So here we have 5 to the 3rd, which is 125. Here we get b to the 3rd. Here we get a to the 9, because we multiply the exponents together. A to the 6, b to the 6. Whoa. And b to the 6. Zoop. Man, b to the 6. Whoa. B to the 6. My b's and 6's look so similar. So final answer. For numbers that multiplying together, all I have is that 125. So 125. And now let's do a's first, because that's the first letter in the alphabet, folks. You know? A to the 15, because I took a to the 9 times a to the 6 and got a to the 15. Then I have b to the 3rd, b to the 6, b to the 6. So that's b to the 15, I believe, if I added right. You know what you can do is you do this is you can cross off. All right, I took care of the number, took care of the a's, and yeah, I don't think I missed anything. All right, so number 45. You need to simplify. Following PEMDAS, you have to simplify within the parentheses first. And that's right here. You have to do the inner parentheses and then work out. So I need to sprinkle that power of 2 to everything in the parentheses. This power of 2 goes to the 3, the u, and the v squared. So that gives me 9 u squared and v to the 4th. Then I'm going to write down everything else that I haven't done yet in black. So I have this bigger parentheses, the times 3, the u squared and v squared over here. And that's all getting raised to the second power, folks. So now I need to sprinkle this power of 2. Whoa, let's use a different color. To the 9. See this 9 right there? That's getting squared again. And this u squared and v to the 4 are getting squared. And so is the stuff in black. The 3, the u squared, and the v squared. So there's 6 squarings that happen here. So 9 squared is 81. U squared, squared again, multiply the powers together, that's u to the 4th, v to the 8th, 3 squared is 9, u squared squared is u to the 4th, and v to the 4th. So now, folks, we take the numbers and multiply them together. 81 times 9 is 729. You can use a calculator. Well, let's take care of the u's. We get u to the 8th, and then the v's, v to the 8th times v to the 4th is v to the 12th. We add the exponents together. And I don't know, let's do this one. So let's sprinkle the squaring to everything here. The 5, the x squared, the y squared, the 5, and the x squared. So we get 25 x to the 4th, y to the 4th, times 25 x to the 4th. So if I rearrange this, folks, remember this is all multiplication. If it helps put these dots in, do it. That 25 times x to the 4th times y to the 4th times 25 times x to the 4th. we can rearrange this, folks. We have 25 times 25 times x to the fourth. I'm going to bring the other x to the fourth and put it next to the other x, or the first x. And we have y to the fourth. So 25 times 25, I don't know. But when I multiply the x's together, I get x to the eighth, and then y to the fourth comes down. I think it's 625, but that's 15 times 15. Well, 20 times 25 is 500. And then 5 times 25 is 1. Oh, it is 625. I guess. Oh yeah, 15 times 15 is 225. If you ever wonder what math teachers do in their minds, they just start, doing math facts. I'm just kidding. I should have just grabbed a calculator. I apologize. I'm sorry. Ooh. Number 51 looks fantastic. Hello. Sprinkle that 2 to everything in that first parenthesis, so we get 25 x squared y to the fourth. And then I'm going to use a different color. Here we're sprinkling the power of 3 to everything. So we get 4 to the third is 64. 4 times 4 times 4. Y to the third. Multiply these powers together right here, folks. That's x to the 9. So now, final answer. 25 times 64. Oh, lordy. I don't know. I'll do that in a second. Then we get, make sure, be careful, we have x squared and x to the 9, so that's x to the 11. And then y to the 4th times y to the 3rd, that's y to the 7th. Oh. Just use a calculator in the future here, folks. That's 100. So I'm kind of, if you're wondering, I'm really just taking 25 times 4, and now I'm going to take 25 times 6, and that's 150. But I brought a 0 down. So I think it's 16. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. That's 1600. You take a quarter of 64, and then, anyway. Okay. I don't know. Anything else you guys want me to do? What? What's that? Okay, 58. All right. So we get 8 x to the third, y to the third, times 4y times 2x squared y to the third. So you got to sprinkle first, folks, and then we can multiply the plain old numbers together, and that gives us 64. Then let's combine or multiply together the same bases. So let's take the base of x, x, x. So we get x to the 5th. All right, and now let's take the y's. Now I did a bad job with my highlighting. So there's a y, there's a y. Did you see the y right there? So that gives you y to the 6th because there's a 1 on this y right there. And 3 plus 1 plus 2 is 6. So y to the 6th. Cool beans? All right. If you have any other questions, come see me. I'm glad.